all wanna be happy. We all wanna be happy. We all wanna be happy. We wanna be happy. We wanna be happy. We wanna be happy. Happy. We wanna be happy.
Hello. Welcome to Facebook and YouTube Live, Flirty Friday. And we are going to be here each week to kick off the weekend and get you into the love mindset to help you get some love and fabulousness and fun into your weekend and answer your questions. So I'm glad you're here, and I'm happy to take questions. Just put it in the chat. I can see that. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Invite people. You're welcome to invite people. If you're here, tell me where you are coming in from. Where are you right now? Do you have plans for the weekend? Do you have dates lined up? Where are you in your relationships, your relationship status? Do you have a title, girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, wife, husband? Or are you just getting yourself out there? Because it's important. You just got to get yourself out there. Especially if you're dating and mating from the feminine. You want to get yourself out there to be found. The feminine gets found. And the feminine sorts out who they're dating, who's dating them, to come up with the best contender for them. So I'm keeping an eye out for questions. And also, you're welcome to text. And if you have my text number. And I have on the screen, if you're interested at all in a complimentary discovery call, you can find that on the website there, coachconstance.love. And, okay. Looks like there might be a slight delay. And I'm not able to see who is watching unless you make a comment. So welcome. I see some people are with us. And I do have a question that came in earlier today. They knew I was going to be on, and they didn't have a way to get on to ask the question. This is being recorded. I'm going to leave it up. I'll leave it up for prosperity in case you jump off sooner. So Flirty Friday is the day that I designate as being most mindful of your flirting. Of course, we want to be mindful of our flirting 24/7. And if you're married, you still want to be you still want to be married. If you're married, you still want to be mindful of flirting. And I deal with masculine and feminine energies when it comes down to our romance. You want to pick which love energy you want to date, mate, and relate from, whether it's your feminine or your masculine. If you are choosing to date, mate, and relate from your feminine, and there are ways to determine that, and if you're not sure, go out and practice from one energy and the other. And we're going to pick one and go ahead and get out there. And if you're in the feminine, you want to get out there to be found and do what feminine people say and do. And if you're in the masculine, you want to get out there to find the people, to initiate, to hunt, to go after what you want. So if you're in the feminine, for feminine flirting, the thing with feminine flirting is it's very passive. So if somebody says, I don't want to lead them on, if you're feminine flirting, you're not leading them anywhere because it's the masculine that leads. The trick to the feminine flirting is being in love with yourself, sharing it with the world, and receiving, especially from those that want to give, protect, and cherish you. Being open and available, having certainty that you are worthy, and getting out to be found. So if you're not really into your contenders on the porch, then you want to get out to new places to be found. And if you're married, then you also get to flirt. Flirt with your husband. We want to have date nights and we want to still flirt. And that's the same idea, is to be in the feminine, come from certainty, you're worthy, and that you are in love with yourself and sharing it with the world. And when you're getting your flirt on, you want to look them in the eyes. You could do some sticky eye, tempting, triangulating, where you're looking at one eye of the person, then go to the other eye, then go to the lips, then go to the eye, and smile and don't say anything. And that can be very igniting to the chemistry between both of you. There's been workshops I used to go to where you would sit across from the other person and just stare into each other's eyes for a while. And it did get some interesting feelings and energy coming up. So I am keeping an eye out on the comments. And I see a thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up. And I see there are people that have joined us. So one of the questions that came in earlier was, they're familiar with this work a little bit, so they know I was going to talk about getting out there, just getting out there to be found. And it's a beautiful time of year to get out there. So it says, I just want to relax this weekend and stay at home. Okay, well, that's something to think about. We have those times that come for us that we just want to relax. We had a long time at work, had a long day at work, long week at work. So if you're wanting to just relax and stay at home, is the goal relaxing? And if it is, getting out and having some fun can be relaxing. It depends on what you're choosing to do. If you're flirting from the feminine flirting perspective, that can be very relaxing. Receiving dates when you're dating and mating from your feminine is very relaxing because you're receiving the invitation and you're enjoying your time there and you're not doing in the doing of things. So that's something to think about. Is it relaxing or is it staying home that you want to do? Now, I talk about not having your love story on the back burner. Time goes fast. And often I'll have clients that don't get themselves out there and put their love story on the back burner. And then one day at a time, time goes by. And they're being people's bridesmaids and they're being the babysitter. And the next, there's a comment, poodly eyes. Poodly eyes is what I say to my dog. My dog is a golden doodle. And so it has part poodle and golden retriever, and she has poodly eyes. I call them poodly eyes because you can see the poodle in her eyes. The poodles have a certain kind of eye to me. So yes, poodly eyes. Thank you for making that comment, Mr. Ed Matson. And so getting back to the question, so relaxing and staying home, if you really want to stay home and also I guess the relationship status matters, right? So if you're married and staying home together, that could be a date night. It could still be a date night, even if you're staying at home. And if you're single and you're saying that, then you want to think about, am I participating in my love story or have I had it on the back burner? Is there something I can do while I'm home to participate in my love story? Now, sometimes our home, part of it could be nesting, where we're making the home sensual and sexual and comfortable and open and available for people to come into our lives. We're getting rid of the energy of the exes, all the DNA they leave behind, their shirts, their pictures, their gifts. We want to let go of that. So maybe it'll be, might not be too relaxing. Now, one thing you can do from home, too, if you want to participate in your love story, is, I just went blank. What is the one thing? Oh, go online. Go online. Now, there's two different ways to approach online. One can be the online dating, to be found. Now, remember, you're getting out there to be found. So you want to put yourself on these websites to be found, not necessarily to hunt. And maybe answer some messages or even just putting up your profile as a micro action. And that would be participating from your home in your love story. Now, what else did it say? Stay at home. You can also oh, okay, here's another question. I have a habit of saying question. Okay, here is another one. I just broke up with someone last month. I don't want to date. Okay, well, that's common. We go through breakups. Now, we want to honor a breakup. I was just telling a client earlier today, when somebody is in a long-term relationship, say like 10 years or 5 years, that's what we call mating with this work. With courtship, that's mating, which is married without the paperwork. One of the challenges when we go through a breakup and it's more than a year, even if it's a year, but when you're in that long-term relationship and you're mated, which is married without the paperwork, if you think about it, people that are actually married and go through the divorce culturally are supported more. People see it as a more serious thing, where culturally there's not as much support for people that get out of long-term relationships, but it can be just as devastating. So we want to honor the grieving. We want to honor the letting go of the past. However, we also want to be mindful not to sit around and go down the rabbit hole. Because if we're over 23, time is very precious. The deals we get at 33 are very different than the deals we get at 23. So we don't wait when we're also, if they got in, or even if they didn't get in, the feminine has oxytocin. And oxytocin is that bonding hormone. So when you have that bonding hormone, nature is doing that so that you bond to someone. Nature wants us paired off and having babies, ideally. And therefore, you could be bonded to the wrong person, or maybe they were right at one point, but now they're wrong. You could be bonded to them for up to 2 years or more. So if you're waiting until you're good to go out and get out onto the scene, it might take 2 years or more to get into that, oh, now I'm in the mood to go out. Nature does this funny thing with the oxytocin to have us paired off. There's a couple of things that take place. And one is nobody else looks so good. And then all of a sudden, when we get to that point of debonding and that idea of ready to get out there, that's all of a sudden everybody looks like they showered and everyone's starting to look good again. And that's more about that debonding. So you want to be mindful of the price tag if you stay at home and you went through a breakup. How long ago was the breakup? If it was more than a week or two ago, you want to think about that. You want to honor the time and honor that grief, but ideally, don't take longer than 48 hours to get yourself back out there. And when you get yourself back out there after 48 hours, it doesn't mean all of a sudden the grief's done and you're done and you don't think of them again. But it's hauling your chemistry around and hope somebody steals it. And therefore, you're getting out there, but you don't want to emotionally throw up on anyone or dump on anybody what you just went through. It's not their bill. And you don't want to quickly do a rebound and go with someone just to override all that uncomfortability. It's to show up and be open and receptive and do the footwork and be available for someone to steal your chemistry from that person that owns it. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. Okay. So that would be thinking about that you don't want to get out there. So I just broke up with someone and I don't want to get out there. That's very common. I hear it a lot. Now with courtship, I talk about the stages to courtship. One of them is what I've mentioned a little bit here, is nesting, doing that DNA sweep, getting rid of that past, processing out the past, and doing fill the well, FTW. Sometimes we have to say FTW to fill the well. That's part of the courtship. If you have a love vision of being in a long-term relationship in your life, then you're in courtship mode. And so if you're not getting out there, the courtship mode that you're in, the stage you're in, is that first stage of preparing, of letting go of the past and the things that are in the way. Maybe working on what you see as obstacles that are in the way for you to have what you want. So keep in mind, even if you broke up with someone or they broke up with you, if you have a vision of having a long-term relationship, married or mated, you are in courtship mode. So if you're not mindful, you may slide into avoidance. And avoidance is what we talk about where it's on the back burner. And then the back burner, it's one day at a time. We wake up, everybody's got their grandkids and their relationships, and we're like, what happened? So you want to keep that in mind. And now, think about the weekend that lies ahead. It's Friday. If you're on the East Coast, it's after 7. If you're on the West Coast, it's after 4, and wherever you are in between. Or if you're a replayer and watching the replay, then that's okay too. This is supposed to also bring into consciousness and mindfulness that it's Flirty Friday, and Flirty Friday can be any day. And you want to remember to have fun and receive the fabulousness of the weekend. That comes from a level of stoicism. Seize the day. We don't know how many weekends we have left. Live this weekend to the fullest. And if you don't have anything planned, what can you do to plan something? Maybe talk to some of your friends about getting out. And then when you go out, if you're going to do your flirting, act as if you don't know each other for a little while. Separate and do some flirting and see what unfolds. Or look in your local newspapers. On Facebook, a lot of times events are listed. Things you might not have even thought about. And a music festival or a rummage sale, a tag sale, whatever it might be. It doesn't mean you have to go out at night. Maybe there's a little walking club you can do. I just did my walking club this morning. Not mine. I participated in it with Charlene. Shout out to Charlene. She's a really great personal trainer, and she has a little walking group where I live. And we go out and walk, and I saw a lot of people I know along the way. I don't have to think, oh, there's only ladies in this walking group. There's all kinds of people. If you're out to meet people and attract people, there's all kinds of people along the way. And you want to think about, what's the reason I don't have anything to do if you're wanting to have something to do? We don't have to be passive in sitting at home and waiting for someone to find us there, because who knows when that's going to be. And it'll probably just be the Amazon delivery guy or the mailman. I don't know who else comes to the house. Maybe some other people come to the house for repairs. But if that's not your level of contender or style you want in a relationship, or maybe he's married, then you want to get out that door. You want to get out the door into the world. And I want to encourage you to do that. And put aside our work hat if you're working. Now, some people have to work on the weekend. I get that. But many people don't work on the weekend. So to leave the plastic balls at work and melt into the feminine and enjoy, relax and enjoy, like the person was mentioning about relaxing. Relax so you have the opportunity to relax no matter where you are. If you're in an elevator full of people, you still have the option to relax internally, be with yourself, and enjoy the moment. One way that helps is grounding. That people talk about grounding, where you put your feet in grass or sand or water or dirt and have bare feet so you're grounded. Maybe go to the beach. Maybe go to the beach this weekend. Do a little walking. You don't have to make it a big 48-hour plan. If you could eke out maybe 15 minutes, I'll go to the beach for 15 minutes. And if I'm there longer, I'm there longer. And let's see. That's that's what I have going on for this Flirty Friday. And I'm open to, there's a text. Nope. Let's see. All right. So that's what we have for the Flirty Friday today. We just jump on, do something quick, and we're going to be here each week to get everybody motivated and excited and wanting to participate, not just in your own love story, but also in your life. And you're welcome to bring questions here. If you have questions throughout the week and you want some support, you don't have to do this alone. And I'm passionate about helping people have relationship success. And it helps me enjoy the world more because it's adding more love into the world. And I welcome you here. I welcome people that I haven't even met yet. And you're welcome to tell people about it. I also have Transformational Tuesdays. I have a morning call. Just put in the comments below or DM me, and I will send you the number for that if you want to join us on a half-hour Transformational Tuesday call. It's a conference call, and you have the option of just listening in. And also, there's down below the website over here, coachconstance.love. You're welcome to go there and book a discovery call, and we can talk one-on-one. Some people like more privacy and discreetness. That's fine, too. And I'm doing my best to make myself available as best I can and reach the most amount of people I can. I've had a private practice for a long time now, and I'm upscaling to reach more people in the world. We're getting on board with the social media and different things to open up to as many people as possible. And we have the resources now to do that, so we want to do that. That's one of the things I'm passionate about. So I thank you for coming, and if you're watching the replay, I thank you for watching the replay. And I look forward to meeting you and talking to you more. I hope you come back next Friday, or join us on Tuesday. And reach out, DM me. I keep an eye out on my DMs. So with that in mind, I'm going to play the happy song and wish you an awesome, flirty, fabulous, fun Friday and weekend.
Day and night, wanna be alright. Happy.
Hey, Lulu. Thank you. Good to see you here. Miss you. Have a flirty weekend.